What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Charles Oliveira has opened up about his loss to Ilia, revealing what he believes was a crucial mistake in his game plan. During a recent interview, the Brazilian star reflected on the fight and explained that he should have kept his distance instead of closing the range against a shorter and powerful boxer like Ilia. Oliveira said someone pointed out that Ilia had eaten one of his elbows clean and didn't even flinch. And that's when he admitted where things went wrong. Because I was stupid, Oliveira said honestly. The guy is shorter than me, a boxer. What should I have done? Stay on the outside, kick him and make him come forward, then shoot for the takedown. But what was I thinking? I went in trying to take him down and put my hands on him. I did throw my hands, but he landed first, so I was stupid. It was a brutally honest assessment from one of the most experienced fighters in the game. Oliveira continued saying, "It happens. It's part of fighting. What can you do? It's all in your mind. You have to come back again." That's what happened. We come back stronger. His words showed a fighter who takes full responsibility for his loss, rather than looking for excuses. Fans praised Oliveira for his humility and his willingness to learn from the defeat. Despite the setback, he remains one of the most dangerous and beloved fighters in the sport, known for his resilience and high-level skills in both striking and grappling. With this kind of mindset, it's clear that Charles Oliveira is already focused on making the right adjustments and returning stronger than ever, ready to prove why he's still one of the best lightweights in the world. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, there's been an unexpected change to the UFC 322 lineup that has fans talking. Nickal highly anticipated middleweight bout against Rodolfo Vieira has officially been moved from the main card down to the prelims. The update came during last night's UFC broadcast, and it caught many viewers by surprise. Originally, the matchup between Nickal and Vieira was expected to be one of the key highlights of the main card, especially given the hype surrounding Nickal's growing popularity and Vieira's elite jiu-jitsu background. However, the UFC decided to reshuffle the order, promoting Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis to the main card instead. This means fans tuning in early will now see Nickal compete during the preliminary portion of the event. While the exact reason behind the adjustment hasn't been made public, many believe it could be part of the promotion's strategy to boost viewership for the prelims, considering Nickal's strong fan following and exciting fighting style. Nickal, a former NCAA wrestling champion, has quickly become one of the UFC's most talked about prospects, known for finishing his opponents in dominant fashion. Vieira, on the other hand, is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu world champion looking to make a statement of his own against one of the sport's fastest rising stars. With the fight now set for the prelims, fans will still get to see an explosive clash just a little earlier in the night than expected at UFC 322. Moving on to another news, things took a surprising and somewhat ironic turn for Tom Aspinall's teammate Ante Delija during his recent fight. Delia, who trains alongside Aspinall, ended up losing his bout in one of the strangest ways we've seen in a while. Heading into fight week, Delia made headlines for his comments about Aspinall's controversial eye poke incident. He said, "I really don't understand. I've had 33 fights and I've never poked anyone in the eye. I believe the punishment for that should be severe." Those comments would come back to haunt him just days later. During his matchup with Waldo Cortez Acosta, Delia looked sharp early, landing heavy punches and appearing to have his opponent hurt. The referee even stepped in at one point, leading Delia to believe the fight was over. He began celebrating what he thought was a knockout victory. But just moments later, the doctors entered the octagon and the situation took a dramatic twist. It was revealed that during the final exchange, Cortez Acosta had actually been poked in the eye. After being checked by the medical team, Cortez Acosta decided he was okay to continue. As soon as the fight resumed, he wasted no time getting his revenge. In an incredible turn of events, Cortez Acosta landed a powerful shot that knocked Delija out cold, instantly ending the fight. The irony of the moment didn't go unnoticed by fans and commentators, especially considering Delija's earlier remarks about eye pokes and fair play. It was a tough and humbling night for Delija, who went from celebrating a supposed victory to suffering a knockout loss in just a matter of seconds. Moving on to another news, Waldo Cortez Acosta made headlines after his impressive first-round finish, and his post-fight interview quickly became the talk of the night. Moments after knocking out Ante Delija, Tom Aspinall's teammate, Cortez Acosta, used his octagon interview to take direct aim at the heavyweight champion himself. With visible emotion and energy, he said, "My eye was like 20% vision, but I said I don't care. Hey, I want to tell you something, Aspinall. You saw that fight, right? I'm coming for you. Be ready, okay? I'm being ready." The crowd erupted as Cortez Acosta made his intentions crystal clear. Later, during the post-fight press conference, Cortez Acosta was asked whether his call-out of Aspinall was serious or just an emotional reaction to what happened in his own fight. He explained in his broken but passionate English that there were several reasons behind it. He said it was partly because he had dealt with an eye poke of his own but kept fighting, unlike what happened in Aspinall's controversial fight. He also mentioned that his opponent Delia was Aspinall's training partner, which made his knockout win even more meaningful. Cortez Acosta added that he believes he deserves a chance to face Aspinall someday, saying, he says this is the best training partner he can have. But what happens when Tom Aspinall fights with Waldo Cortez? Let's see then. His message was loud and clear. He wants a piece of the heavyweight champion. While it's unlikely the UFC will book that matchup anytime soon, Cortez Acosta's confidence, toughness, and willingness to fight through adversity have definitely put him on the radar after his dramatic finish and fiery call-out. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall continues to face heavy criticism following the controversial ending of his fight at UFC 321. Ever since the bout with Cyril Gane was stopped after Aspinall suffered an eye poke, debate has erupted across the MMA world. Many fans and fighters believe the heavyweight champion should have continued, claiming he made the division look weak by choosing not to fight on. And now, another heavyweight contender has added his voice to the growing list of critics. During an interview with James Lynch, rising contender Walter Walker didn't hold back his thoughts about the situation. He argued that Aspinall's reaction set a poor example for the division, saying, "He made the heavyweights look bad because we are big guys, strong guys. This guy poked you in the eye one time, they gave you 5 minutes to recover, and you pulled out of the fight. He made us heavyweights look bad. I think we are like gladiators from the new era." Walker went on to compare Aspinall's decision to his own experience inside the octagon, recalling that he broke his leg during his UFC 321 fight with Lewis Sutherland, but still pushed through the pain to win by heel hook. Walker explained, "I broke my leg and felt something was wrong, but I kept fighting to the finish. I gave my best because I know I work for the UFC. I know if something goes wrong, they're going to take care of me, pay for surgery, pay the doctors. I'm not scared to go inside the cage." And then there's this guy who got poked in the eye and pulled out of the fight. His words sparked further discussion about fighter mentality, toughness, and how much damage should be endured before calling it quits. Meanwhile, the controversy surrounding eye pokes has once again caught the attention of officials and referees. Veteran referee Herb Dean spoke with Helen Yee about the ongoing issue and revealed that changes might be coming soon. "We have to try something," Dean said. "People are ready to move on and try something with that. There's going to be a meeting where we go over it. Some suggestions are automatic point deductions to see what happens with that." Dean admitted that dealing with eye pokes in real time is difficult, as referees can't always tell if they're intentional or accidental. He even revealed that some retired fighters have confessed to him that their groin kicks or fouls were deliberate. He said, "Some fighters are good people, and they're not doing fouls on purpose. But there are others who told me after retiring that every groin kick they ever did was intentional." With UFC 321 reigniting this debate, many believe a rule change is now inevitable, as the sport looks for ways to stop these dangerous and fight-ending fouls. Moving on to another news, Dan Hooker is gearing up for his long-awaited return to the octagon, and it looks like he's coming back with some new tricks up his sleeve. The lightweight contender is set to face Arman later this month in the main event of UFC Qatar on November 22nd. This will be Hooker's first fight of 2025 and his first appearance since August of 2024, when he edged out Mateusz Gamrot in a thrilling split decision win. Originally, Hooker was expected to take on Justin Gaethje in March, in what many fans considered a dream matchup, but a broken hand forced him out of that bout and onto the sidelines. Now, fully healed and back in training camp, Hooker recently spoke with Heavyweight MMA about what fans can expect when he meets Arman inside the cage. Interestingly, the time away due to his injury turned out to be a blessing in disguise. He explained that the hand injury forced him to adapt and develop other aspects of his game. "Oh, I think everything will just be flying. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty dangerous at the moment. I just can't wait to get the pads off and start firing some knees and elbows down range." "Brother," Hooker said with his usual confidence, he continued, "I've been working on a lot of different things and getting more comfortable with all my weapons. My left hook, which is my powerhouse, was out of action for a while, so it gave me time to focus on other tools I can use to crack people with. I'm excited to show that off for sure." It's clear Hooker has used his recovery period to reinvent parts of his striking arsenal, and fans could be in for a much more unpredictable version of the Hangman when fight night comes around. As for the matchup itself, many are curious to see how Hooker will handle Arman's elite-level grappling and relentless pressure. Arman is known for his explosive takedowns and dominant ground control, but Hooker has faced plenty of strong wrestlers in the past and always finds ways to make fights exciting. It'll be interesting to see whether Hooker's new approach, including those flying knees and sharp elbows, can help him counter Arman's wrestling-heavy style. Meanwhile, based on a recent video making the rounds online, Arman seems to be enjoying himself ahead of UFC Qatar. The top contender was seen having a massive feast, clearly staying well-fed and confident as the highly anticipated showdown draws closer. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev recently spoke about the ongoing talk of a potential fight with Ilia Topuria, and whether he would consider moving back down to lightweight to make it happen. Although Islam has already moved up to welterweight in pursuit of a second world title, fans haven't stopped speculating about a future showdown between him and Ilia. With his welterweight debut now just a couple of weeks away, Islam made it clear that cutting back down to 155 isn't something he's seriously thinking about right now. Earlier this year, Islam vacated the lightweight title so he could chase the welterweight belt. The dominant fighter is set to face the new champion, JDM, at UFC 322 on November announced the move, there was constant chatter about whether the UFC would eventually book Islam against Ilia, especially after Ilia captured the featherweight crown and expressed interest in moving up. For a while, Islam even hinted that he might return to reclaim his old belt, but his latest comments suggest otherwise. Speaking with Match TV, Islam was asked directly about the possibility of going back down to fight Ilia. He replied, "I think so, it would be nice. The fans are interested and so am I. This fight is the main thing people are talking about." But when pressed further on whether the interest came from him or from the fans, Islam clarified his stance. He said, "How could it be interesting to me? What will I gain by going down to 155 and beating Topuria? Win the belt again? I already have it. The fans are mostly interested in it, not me. I'm not interested in cutting weight again and torturing myself. I want to fight at 170, eat, enjoy my camp, and fight." Those comments make it clear that Islam's focus is fully on the welterweight division and not on another grueling cut to lightweight. Still, Ilia has also expressed interest in moving up to 170, which could make the fight possible down the line. During the same interview, Islam was asked which 3 fighters he'd pick as allies in a street fight. Interestingly, Arman was asked a similar question recently and chose Khabib, Khamzat, and Islam. When Islam gave his own answer, he picked Khabib, Daniel Cormier, and Cain Velasquez. And in classic Islam fashion, when the interviewer mentioned that Cormier is now in his 40s, he laughed and said, "Cormier can be thrown forward as a shield." Moving on to another news, Charles Oliveira has finally responded to recent claims made by Max Holloway regarding their previous fight. A few days ago, Holloway suggested that there was no actual injury found for Oliveira following their last bout, stating that when the doctors checked him after the fight, they didn't find anything serious. Those comments quickly caught attention in the MMA world, especially among fans who remembered how that fight ended. Today, Oliveira addressed Holloway's remarks and set the record straight. Speaking with the media, he made it clear that his injury was very real and not something fabricated. "Max is a guy I respect a lot," Oliveira said calmly. "Based on my last fight with him, everyone knows I had an injury. He says I didn't, but I did have an injury. It would certainly be a good reunion." Despite the disagreement, Oliveira's tone was respectful, showing that there's no bad blood between the two. Fighters, just unfinished business. The two first met years ago in a fight that ended abruptly when Oliveira suffered a neck injury that forced the doctor to stop the contest. Since then, both men have evolved into elite fighters, champions in their respective divisions, and fan favorites known for their durability and heart inside the cage. Now, with Oliveira hinting at a rematch, the MMA world is already buzzing with excitement. The Brazilian star looks healthy and motivated, and fans can sense that he's ready to run it back with Holloway. On the other hand, Holloway, who's been on an impressive run lately, would surely welcome the challenge. If this rematch does happen, it's shaping up to be one of the most anticipated fights in recent memory, featuring 2 of the most beloved and respected fighters in the sport. Moving on to another news, Alex Pereira, one of the UFC's biggest stars, seems to have ignored the organization's medical advice regarding his recent foot injury. Last month at UFC 320, Pereira began his second reign as the light heavyweight champion after making quick work of Magomed Ankalaev. Although Ankalaev managed to land only 4 strikes in that short but memorable fight, Pereira didn't walk away completely unscathed. Shortly after his victory, the champ revealed that he had actually broken his foot during the bout. Recently, Pereira spoke with MMA Oi and opened up about how he handled the recovery process. During the conversation, he admitted that he decided not to fully follow the UFC doctor's advice. According to him, the medical team told him to keep wearing a protective boot for another 6 weeks. However, Pereira said he sought out a few more opinions and eventually made his own decision. He explained that while the boot would help his injury heal, there was also a chance it could cause his foot muscles to weaken from lack of movement, making it even harder for him to stay active, Pereira said. "The UFC doctors told me to wear the boot for another 6 weeks, but I wasn't sure. I got some more opinions. On one hand, it's good, but on the other hand, it could atrophy my foot more, make it harder to move, and so on." He added that the pain wasn't too bad after the initial impact. For a few days, maybe a week, he wore the boot as instructed and only took it off while showering. According to him, the treatment worked well, and now he's able to walk normally. However, he admitted that if he tries to kick, the pain is still there, which is expected as the healing continues. Pereira believes everything is on the right track and that his recovery is progressing as planned. If his recovery stays smooth and he's ready to return soon, the UFC likely won't have a problem with how he handled things. But if complications arise because he chose not to wear the boot as long as advised, the situation could become a serious concern. Should the injury worsen and force Pereira to stay out longer than expected, especially if it delays a potential super fight with John Jones on a major card, the promotion might not be too pleased with their light heavyweight champion's decision. Moving on to another news, Chael Sonnen has reacted to Henry Cejudo's recent comments about Khabib, after Cejudo claimed his resume is more impressive than the former lightweight champions. During a recent episode of the Pound for Pound podcast, Cejudo confidently stated that Khabib hasn't done enough in his MMA career to surpass his own achievements. He explained that while he respects Khabib, he doesn't see him as being ahead of him in terms of accomplishments. Cejudo recalled a heated conversation he once had with Khabib, saying he told him directly that he didn't put him above himself. The former Olympic gold medalist argued that if Khabib had moved up in weight classes and won titles in multiple divisions, then it would be a different story. But since he remained at lightweight, Cejudo believes his own achievements carry more weight. He added that he even thinks Khabib could have done great things at 185 pounds, stylistically having the skills to compete there, even though he naturally fought at 155. However, Chael Sonnen didn't hold back when he addressed Cejudo's comments during a recent video on his YouTube channel. The outspoken analyst disagreed with the idea that competing in multiple divisions automatically puts Cejudo ahead of Khabib. Sonnen said, "Would I put Henry in front of Khabib solely based on the idea that Henry was willing to compete at multiple weight classes and Khabib wasn't? No." He went on to call it a fun debate between two great fighters with incredible careers. Henry versus Khabib for GOAT status is a fun debate, Sonnen continued. Two wonderful careers, two championships, two divisions versus an undefeated record. It's very hard for anything to get in the way of undefeated. It's true that winning titles in two divisions and holding two belts simultaneously is a rare feat, something only a few fighters in MMA history have achieved. But Khabib's undefeated record of 29-0, including 13 consecutive wins in the UFC, is equally remarkable. Sonnen highlighted that kind of dominance as nearly impossible to overlook. Sonnen then turned his attention to another topic that made headlines recently, Ronda Rousey's comments about MMA fans. While speaking with comedian Bert Kreischer, Rousey criticized fans for turning on fighters after they lose, saying they only love athletes when they're winning. Sonnen responded by saying that Ronda has always misunderstood the nature of fandom. "Nobody's even thinking about you except the ones in your home, your neighborhood, your community," he said. "Nobody has any real opinion, love, or hate for you." He added that fans never truly loved fighters in a personal sense. They were just fans of the moment. "It's not personal," Sonnen said. "They don't really dislike you. The mistake is thinking they were ever with you. They were never with you and never loved you. It's not cruel. It's just what being a fan means."